Okay, y'all, this is cowboy music because Jamie, my ex for 20 years, was a cowboy for a long time before I met him. Let's call it a stele for Jamie, like a tombstone for Jamie. After he died, there was a voicemail message from him left over from a few days earlier in the morning. It went something like this. Hi, darling. I'm not used to not seeing you this early in the morning. It was time-stamped, a message 10:30 a.m. from the day it was sent. After a few practical matters, his voice breaks. You'll never know how much I love you. No, you will. You will. Then some more stuff from a couple of days before he dies, then this. When you die, I'll come and find you, even if I have to smell you out. This was said a few times and it made sense. It made me think of his ranch, rural background, the fact that his dad was an official trapper for the state of New Mexico. It was just this total reality thing and pierced like nothing else he could have said. After that, I listened several times a day. I remember thinking, you know, I'm hardly gifted in practical affairs, a total washout, as you know, with spatial mechanical stuff that other people do without the slightest trouble. So this message is the only physical part of him still left, and I want to keep it forever, not letting it slip away. And it worked for about 3 weeks. I'd enter into some other reality state where listening to the voicemail would bring back my dead man. Then that impractical part of me took hold. I just blissed out, hearing the real physical sound of Jamie's voice saying he loved me. The impractical part of me forgets there's always a limit for voicemails. Then they're erased. I get up one day about 3 weeks later and click. There's nothing but the white noise of nothing or outer space there. What happened? My brow furrows. I remember there's a time limit for these messages. I realize now I've forever lost the physical record of the voice of the only one in life I've ever really loved. The last anchor of what anchored me. The last remnant of what anchored me. And I'm desolate. What was there? Now there was nothing. If I didn't and don't consider the quote-unquote ashes as real physical parts of him, isn't his voice more him than leftovers of his body, his ashes? Now with the voice gone, he's really gone. That's what I know. He's disappeared and been scattered with those so-called ashes out into the cosmos he came from the emptiness, or parts of it, him, in the process of getting whirled or spun out somewhere past the solar system and separated different parts now, though starting to reconfigure and being themselves reshaped by other shapes, each thing taking a part of him, another part, and in the process all his former parts being transformed, changed into what? Hitting the despair button, Bruce? Yeah, I think so. Despair first crawls into my body through the mouth. It makes its way down my throat and then gets all over the thorax, and now it's slowly starting little pathetic protests like, and now upping the ante as my dog growling comes on, howling at full throttle. Oh my God. Desolation. Suffocating lungs in panic mode, wanting to turn back the clock and reverse time and get Jamie back through blackmailing the universe by yelling and screaming at the top of my lungs. though something unexpected's happening. There's some counterintuitive thing I start to notice. The mental pain and physically the body's muscles and inner organs and tissues are affecting, cramped up painfully or contracted, then expanding the pain out again, not just locally but globally, all over me. The dismantling of the Jamie Bruce love machine part by part, this binary, that's us, strangely seems to be constructing or reconstructing some other pneumatic thing, a binary love thing that's now, as a pain outcome, seems to be somehow even possibly a love that's even a little stronger, maybe? How weird. It's still the stupid, evil universe, but I'm paying attention. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, perched with dangling legs. And the pain comes on, even stronger now, hitting real hard in the solar plexus. Pulled up knees, oh, bent over chest, oh, howling. And this goes on all night long. Next morning, a protest note from the neighbors against Sadie, our Yorkie's rudeness. She had joined my cries. They didn't have even the honesty to complain about me, so they bitch about Sadie's howls. Fine. She howled, and the next door, they couldn't sleep. Why the blame on Sadie instead of me, except for their cowardice of not wanting direct confrontation? I was totally unsympathetic. As I had listened to Jamie's voice message, there was something really calming about it. I don't know why. Wasn't that thing about, you'll never know how much I loved you? Yeah. But more maybe? It was the drawl, the cowboy drawl and the physical sound of it. The physical is even more important than words, I guess. Not entirely, though. It was also the way he so casually uses the word darling to me. That got me in the gut directly. That was the howling pivot. If he hadn't said darling like that, maybe it wouldn't have quite so much turned me completely upside down crazy. But it did. His native cowboy drawl, it was a knife to my heart. Can Jamie's pronunciation alone, even heard just on a machine, can that spin me into more love? Of course, the sound of the other shoe, that dropped G. When my mind and ear go back to that sound, I see it's a tipping point, the thing that smacks me hardest in the gut with love pain. That's to bring me something very weird and wonderful and alien, maybe even higher than it was when on this earthly plane with Jamie and me. No pain, no gain, as is said. If it doesn't hurt, is it real? How can your lover make you love him without causing pain as well? It's almost formulaic. If he doesn't hurt you, he's not making love to you. And you'll be stuck on this world of boring normals instead of, like, through maximizing the love interaction thing, getting your binary to a higher and this time truly alien plane. Darling, as I mouth it now while writing it here, I want you to shape your lips to say it with me. Say it, darling. And a greater and stranger love is now present for you. Grab it if you can. Now, no one can separate Jamie from the country and ranching culture that made him, can they? That was all in that darling. And it was soaked in the blood of him growing up dirt poor in this very hard culture under a few desert mountains outside town before there's nothing but greasewood, greasewood as far as you can see. It merged with me. It confused me. Ranching was magical, and though mostly positive, there's also a dark side. It's prejudiced and cruel, and against that background was a foreground of him that wasn't that. But still, the looming mountains, the hot desert you can't get away from. His family wants to be up against this nature, but really they're part of it, though they don't know. What a bundle of contradictions. Love and pain. Things reverse themselves. As we reverse pronouns, listening to the boombox to a Buck Owens tune he loved, didn't the music itself make the shifters do their thing? There goes her memory kicking in. It's that same old hurt again. It makes me crazy now and then. It's her memory coming in. It makes me crazy now and then. It's her memory kicking in. Listening to this still transports me. Buck Owens was a country fave of Jamie's and mine too. Who would have thought I'd ever be a country fan? Along with so many other country classics, Jamie knew this by heart. Oh boy, did he. He loved them. Me too, for that matter. Maybe for his sake then, but maybe for mine later. We had this thing. In country songs, we regendered pronouns, making her him. And honestly, well, I still do that. It's his memory kicking in is how I sing. According to the grapevine, Buck meant someone, a real boyfriend of his, even if Buck wasn't out. And Jamie might have meant me. And of course, me, I mean Jamie now. This is from the Dark Queer Suite, and it's called the Stephen King poem. Gay exists, but boisterous too, God. Some hippies in the movie I saw at the Castro with David, The Big Chill, near to Chunky William Hurt, Glenn Close, A Real Love. Kevin Kline. Joe Beth, what's her name? Now. Like my neighborhood, 24th Street. To wake up in the night and flash, I do this all the time actually, tells you, my God, there's a nuclear war on. If there's visitors to the planet or rubble of it in 2020 and there's anything left, they'll wonder why these poems, ours, rhymed language with nothing. Senora Rita Presidente whined Baudelaire to his bitchy girlfriend, ta tête, ton geste, ton air. Just glitter and breathe. Ice. It grids at this point. Affection's the invader. Space shudders, orgasms of some other world come out, they're jism. Vampires in the old US of A, the piece of flesh crawls. Let the sumbitch be, Jed. Hideous, infantile, giggling. That back of his covered with hair, creative. Mr. Idiot of Dreams sitting on his back porch, drooling or dreaming. World out there is a shiver with ideas, said Baudelaire, leaning out his balcony. Wrinkles brow. Is there a comparison? Maybe. Like all those long and solemn, huh? Can't remember how it ends till the sucker finishes, says he. 3 Mile Island short circuit, right? Bread lines, right? A Grenada, Baghdad. Dearest, I'm writing this to let you know sincerely about the brightest light we saw last night on lush black skies was wallpaper. Just Steven Spielberg. I hope that's okay with you, babe. As my sentences become more irreversible, they are revealed as just bridges collapsing. And I hope that's okay, too. What can I say really now? Ribs, peach cobbler, when the children come in for dinner, doesn't just about everybody? When you find some good advice, you let me know. Keep in touch, honey. You know I. Teeth brushed very well in a too bright voice. Oh girl, look at yourselves in the mirror. Try to keep saying yes. I think it helps. Sex, anger, trophies, little things, to put into quotes, a social syntax. I'm short on recommendations, long on fear. Keep the circuits open, that's all. This is continuing. Shambling up to you on the road, ugh, all covered with, what is it, Charlie? Gore? Wriggle ears, make face. Looks like something botched at McDonald's. Irate townspeople. Why don't it go back where it came from? It can't. It wants to say I'm just a big reflection of you, you know? Right now it doesn't have words because we don't have words. The big black uglies come in and I just stare, black star spreading its fearsome light. Oh, too cold. Should we turn that down a little? Do you think that's a little too loud?
Do a tiny bit.
There we go. Okay. This one's called Buddies in Space. I love my man. On this piece of velvet, what's pleasanter than twinkly lights? In my absence, I don't compare hot breath. The blistering limbs keep plastering our walls. Against this determination are three. The mind's the body, spirit too, and soul's irreducible. A finishing with the quest for mastery and the pumping of iron. My wish is the gods grant you a long and happy for Thor 3. This was to kiss, salute. Same to you, sincerely. Atem bar Akatan. We grossly ignored the doubts I told him, my plan to teach. Without resolves or resources, I told him, these asteroids continue to whirl. Where they have limbs, our pride's bolts. Look down from that porthole. The spears of light that are thrown down ache in. Boisterous freedom's my only delight. Be loving you too, true, emblazoned on the foreheads were stars.